19-year-old student Susan Spencer is suing her foster sister, 29-year-old restaurant owner Jamie Cronin, for the cost of stereo equipment in a car she repossessed. Jamie is countersuing for the car's original stereo.
Come to order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 335 on account of the matter of Spencer versus Cronin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Spencer, you were a foster child.
Correct.
So the defendant was your foster sister.
Correct.
Were you living at home at the time that Ms. Spencer was living there?
No, I had already left out of the house.
Were you friends?
Yes.
Liked each other?
Yes.
Then you made a big mistake. You sold her a car.
I didn't actually sell her the car.
Well, she says that she made an arrangement with you to purchase a car from you. And the arrangement was that she would make monthly payments on the car and take care of the insurance on the car. And you got the car, and you had it for about 4 months?
3 months.
And you made some modifications on the car. You added some tires and rims and tinted the windows. And then she repossessed the car.
Correct.
So your lawsuit is to get back all the money that you invested in the car. The defendant says that she didn't sell you the car. She said you could use it. Is that right?
Correct.
And that you were supposed to pay $173 a month for the car and keep up the insurance. As long as you paid that, you could use it. You missed a couple of payments, and she repossessed the car. And she is countersuing because she said that she has to redo all the things that you did in the car. And she wants the 2 months that you missed in the payments. What kind of car was this?
It was a 96 Honda Accord.
Had you moved out of the house already when you purchased the car?
No, I was still living in the residence. I took the car in May. I was working at a restaurant, and she offered me it. And
What did she say to you when she offered it to
She
you?
goes, I know you're looking for a car, and I have mine, and I want to get a different one because she has a dog, and it wasn't convenient. So I go, yeah, I'll take it.
What was the price?
$173 a month.
For how long?
For, I think it was 2 years left on it.
So you had purchased this car.
Correct.
So your payments were $173 a
I
month.
actually had the car loan was still with the bank, so that's why she was going to take over the payments.
And what were you going to do for a car?
I had already purchased another car, so I was going to sell the car.
Yes.
And I knew she needed a car, and she said her boyfriend Phil was supposed to get in her a car, and he hadn't gotten her a car. So I said, if you want, you can take over the payments, and you can, but you got to pay the insurance and you got to make the payments. I said, I'll let you use it. And I said, if you can do that, then that's fine. But if you can't, then I'll take the car back and I'll just sell it.
So you want me to believe that you never agreed to sell her the car if she made the 2 years' worth of payments?
No. She would have gotten the car. Correct.
Oh, so you did sell her the car?
No. Well, I mean, you could say that, I guess. But
Well,
it's
I'm
not really
saying
selling
that
the
you
car.
agreed to sell her the car because your answer says you told her she could use it.
Well, if she had made all the payments and made all the insurance payments on time, yes, she would have had the car.
Then it was going to be her car. So you were really sort of leasing it, but at the end of the lease, it was going to be yours if you made all the payments. Did you ever discuss exactly how long you were going to make these payments of $173 a month?
No, she gave me the payment book.
She did. Can I
Yes.
see it, please? Okay. And when you took this car in May, and did you make May's payment?
No, because it was in the middle. She had already made that payment.
Did you make the June payment?
Yes, I did, but I was a week late.
What about July's payment?
I paid that also.
Is it agreed that she paid for June, July, and August?
But depending on how you look at the payments are made in the middle of the month. So she made the
3 payments.
2 payments.
Well, she says she made 3 payments altogether. Is
Yes.
that right? What did you do with the car when you took it back?
I had the car for a few weeks and then actually sold the car.
For how much?
$5,000.
Who did you sell it to?
An independent party. Someone that.
And how much would have been her car payments in total if she made all these car payments?
If she had paid the car off
Yeah.
at the time, probably $4,400, I guess, was left on the car.
So you made a profit when you sold the car?
No, I actually didn't make a profit on the car because of all these other things that I had to pay for. I had to make the last payment. She owed me money for insurance that I never received that I had to
How much
pay
did she owe
for.
you for insurance?
It was $569, and she gave me $300.
Is that right?
No, ma'am. When we made the agreement, I asked her how much my insurance would be, and she goes, I would owe her $1,000 by the month of October. Each month I had the car. June I gave her $200. July I gave her $200. When it came August, I had to buy college books, which was a sum of $500, so I only had $100 to give her. And I get paid every 2 weeks. I go, next week I will give you the other $100. I go, is that a problem? She didn't say it was.
So you gave her a total of $500
Correct.
towards insurance?
Yes.
Is that right?
No,
How much did she give you?
$300.
Okay. Ms. Spencer, let's start with this. You say that you made some improvements on the car, put a lot of money in the car.
Yes.
The problem that I had with your complaint is you said, I tried to make the payments on time. You didn't always make the payments
Only
on
the
time.
first payment.
Okay, and some insurance. you told me some insurance because you were giving her $200 a month, and then you said you ran into some difficulty financially, so you only gave her $100. Well, why would you spend any money tinting windows and putting in a pricey stereo system in the car if you didn't have money to pay for the car, is my question, Miss Spencer.
Oh, the answer is I had just graduated high school, and my boyfriend purchased me presents along with some of my friends. They bought me the stuff to put in the car. The only thing I purchased personally with my money is the CD player, which I don't have a receipt for.
Well, why would you buy a new stereo system if you couldn't afford to make the car payments and the insurance payments on time?
Well, I purchased the CD player, I'd say in July, so I was doing fine with the payments.
You weren't. You told me that you missed the first payment because you had some problem. You had to get a second job in order to make the payments
Yeah,
on
the
the
first
car.
payment was only a week late, and with my second job, I was making plenty of money.
But then why didn't you give her the insurance money when you were supposed
I
to?
was giving her $200 a month
But then you stopped. Then you only gave her $100.
because I had to go to college and buy school books.
School books is a good thing. A stereo system isn't.
But
It had
I-
a radio in it, didn't it?
Yes, I couldn't take back what I had already purchased a
So
month
you made a
ago.
mistake.
Yes. I also made the mistake of agreeing that
Susan Spencer says foster sister Jamie Cronin repossessed her car and refuses to return the stereo. Jamie says Susan owes for the car's original stereo.
What else did you purchase for the car?
when I first got the car, the two back tires were no good, so we had to purchase 2 new tires, which we have receipts for.
Let me see the receipts for the 2 tires.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 new tires were $92.
Yes.
Okay.
And then his father works for the Department of Corrections, and one of the head police guys impounded a drug dealer's car, and they had those rims on it. And he said, well, I don't really want to be driving around with these rims on it. If you purchase 4 new rims and give them to me, I'll give you these rims, which were valued at $1,000. But I have receipts for the 4 rims that we purchased for him. No.
Rims you don't need. You could drive a car without rims, right?
Yes.
What else?
We just have the receipts for the system we purchased.
Well, what system was it? Tell me.
We have 2 12-inch speakers and subwoofers and
How
an
much was that?
amplifier. Well, the speakers were $165.95, and the amplifier was $188.99, and that was the system that was in the car.
Now, Miss Cronin, if you had given her back the speakers and all of that other stuff, and she told you that you could have the radio back, why didn't you give them back that stuff?
The tires that were on the car, I didn't give those back because the other 4 tires that she wanted to put back on the car, she had already told me that he had stolen. Phil's friend had, I guess, worked at some tire place. And she,
Your Honor, you have the receipt.
We have a receipt.
I'm just telling you, that's what she told me. I mean, if he works there, I'm sure he could have made that
I still
receipt
have
up
those
too.
rims and tires in my backyard.
I also have a note that he wrote to my parents with a big list of things that he has had to pay for her. So apparently these are things that he has paid for and not her.
Your Honor,
So I
that
don't
note
know.
was my foster mom was hounding me for $40 for a cell phone bill that I owed her, and I was trying to get money to pay for the car and also the books, and I go, can I give it to you in a week or so? Because she did not help me getting any of my stuff to move into the dorm. She did not help me with anything. And she made a big deal about that, and he just gave her a list of stuff that I had to buy. That I wasn't blowing my money. I had stuff I had to get.
It says in
Are you
here,
going to college now?
Yes.
Get a scholarship?
Yes.
Good girl. Okay. Let me get to your counterclaim for a second. You sold the car for $5,000.
yes.
How much did you have to put into the car?
2 weeks after I took the car back, the car was vandalized in front of my house, and the radio, the speakers, all that stuff that she's suing me for was all stolen. I have the police report right here. It also even says on the police report how neatly everything was removed from the car.
So is it your contention, Miss Cronin, that either the plaintiff and or her boyfriend vandalized your car?
I don't know. I don't know if she did or not.
Well, then why in the world would you sue her for the cost of this new
Oh,
system?
I'm not suing her for the car. I'm suing her for the radio that was in the car when she originally began using the car.
Hold on a second. If you took the car back from her,
Yes.
why didn't you take out the system that she put in the car?
I was very willing to give back these things, to be honest with you, except for the day after I took the car back. I had spoken with her that day, and I told her, I said, you can have your stuff back. I don't care. I said, I have all your things. I'll be at work tonight if you'd like your stuff. So instead of her coming to get the stuff, instead, Phil's father decided to show up at my place of business during business hours and confront me with his friend that was a state trooper and tried to confront me and telling me that I need to give these things back because they were Phil's.
But you didn't get it back to him, the
No.
radio, the
At
CD.
that point, I didn't, because actually my car, at the same time, I needed some work done on the car that I had purchased. So I decided, since I was still paying for the insurance, I decided to use that car for a few weeks while my car was getting fixed. And in that time, the car was vandalized, like I said.
So why don't you put it into your insurance?
So the only thing that was insured was the fixing of the window and the windshield.
And
But
did
the-
you put in for that?
Oh, yeah, that was covered.
Let me ask you this question. If the car had not been vandalized, you would have sold the car with tinted windows, as you had,
Correct.
right? And wouldn't have complained about it.
Correct.
So your problem is not with her. Your problem is with the person who vandalized your car and broke the window.
If these things weren't in my car, if the stereo and the window wasn't tinted and stuff, my car wouldn't have been vandalized.
Miss Cronin, stop complaining. Miss Cronin, you sold the car for more money than Miss Spencer would have given you for it had she paid off the entire loan for the car by at least $600. So you're not out any money.
No.
Fine, so what are you counterclaiming for?
I had no.
You just want more money?
I had no claim in the first place. She's the one that sued me. I had no. I
Well,
didn't
you
want
can-
any money from her. Or anything
Good,
like
so
that.
then we just eliminated your counterclaim. She doesn't owe you any money. The value of the things that you put in the car that I am going to give you, the $90, it was $190. I'm taking away the $100 for insurance. The $92 that you put on new tires, because evidently the defendant got the value of that when she sold the car, and the $165 and the $188, that comes out to $535. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Good luck. They step out.
I would be more concerned about her relationship with my parents and maybe her mending that relationship with them.
I just wish it wasn't an issue in the first place, so I would rather separate myself from them.
Don't ever help out anyone unless you have something down in writing and some sort of agreement, and because it ends up.
Suing his former roommate's girlfriend, landscape designer Susan Danton, for stealing his property. Susan says she didn't touch his belongings.
Mr. Calandras, the defendant was the girlfriend of your former roommate. Is that correct?
She was.
According to your complaint, you came home from work on a day in March, and your roommate had been arrested for some charge involving stolen property. When you returned to the house, you saw the defendant driving away. So far, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you got to the house, you found that the locks had been changed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You managed to gain entrance into the house.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you got to your room, you found that certain property was missing. Some personal property and some cash, correct?
Yes.
And it is your lawsuit that the defendant stole your property.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me how you know the defendant stole your property.
These are the evidence. If you don't mind if you end it. No. Okay. Why she stole my...
No. How do you know she stole your property?
Your Honor, she's the only person that went into the property without police supervision. And she was alerted of my arrival by her son because she was on Bollinger Canyon waiting for my arrival. And they had a two-way radio. So maybe when I was driving down, probably Chris said, Mom, he's coming, get out of the house. So
You didn't
she
hear
was...
any of this. This is what you're thinking.
No, actually, I saw her just driving in front of me. Almost she ran me over, Your Honor.
She was driving away
She's
from
just
the house.
driving around, away.
That's the evidence that you have, because I read your complaint very carefully, Mr. Calandras. And your complaint said that you know it's her because she was driving away from the house.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? Why just go in and change the locks without police supervision? There have been a search warrant.
So there was a search warrant in your house. Do you know how many policemen arrived?
I wasn't present, Your Honor.
Do you know whether there were any non-police officers who were there, for instance, locksmiths or anything else?
No, I don't.
So all you know is that there were a lot of people who entered the house with a search warrant to go through not only the roommate's property, but the entire house, because they had a search warrant for the house, right?
No, Your Honor. They had a search warrant, but they were not supposed to go into my room.
Supposed to. You weren't home to tell them it was your room, were you?
His ex-wife told me that she went in there with them and they didn't go into my room. That detective said that they didn't go into my room, Your Honor.
Mr. Calandras, first of all, that's hearsay, that nobody went into your room. It's certainly possible. But the only evidence that you have against the defendant is that she was driving away in the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Danton, I know this is going to sound like a ridiculous question. Did you steal his property?
No.
Do you know who might have stolen his property?
No.
Were you present when the police arrived?
Police were there one time when I came home, and this is after I changed the locks to protect myself from Mr. Calindras.
When had you changed the locks? Before or after the search warrant?
That was after, days after.
Days after?
Yeah.
So you felt as if you needed protection from the plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is that?
Because he was very hostile to me. He would be in my face, you know.
Is that after he thought that you had stolen his property?
No, this is all has gone on for a long time.
Okay. What happened to any property that was in his house?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
What's happened to the house?
I lived there.
Well, then if you live there, you would know if in his room there's any
Well,
property.
yeah, he was in the process of moving out.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
Yes.
I was there. I could testify to that.
Well, step up, sir. Tell me your name.
John Rowe.
Mr. Rowe, were you there on the date that the search warrant was executed?
Yes.
Were you present when they went through the house?
No.
Did you see Miss Dunton when she came home?
No, I was incarcerated at the time.
Do you know anything about Mr. Calandras' property?
I know that he vacated the property, and we had a civil standby at that time. He removed all of his personal property.
Was that before or after the police executed the search warrant?
After.
Mr. Dunton? So after he claims that you took some of his property?
Well, he's accused my son-in-law of stealing it. He's accused me of stealing it. He's accused Susan of stealing it. I don't even know if it's stolen. I mean, I just don't know.
Okay. Has he accused other people formally in writing?
Yes.
With complaints?
With police complaints?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of.
What kind of complaints? To whom?
Written letters.
May I see the letters, please? Did you ever think anybody else stole your property, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Did you ever accuse anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
You say in this letter that it is my opinion that Susan Danton did take my gray suitcase.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Okay, well, we can't go by opinions, sir. Mr. Calandras, your case is dismissed. That's all.
Judge, you are excused. You may step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The charges were completely false.
I'm right and they're wrong. They are the criminals, not me, sir.
Without you having to beep out too much.
Ex-boyfriend, 32-year-old Robbie Swanger, for unpaid rent, a cell phone bill, and an unpaid loan. Robbie says none of the items were an issue until they broke up.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 407 on the calendar, the matter of Stanger versus Swanger.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Stanger, you and the defendant, according to your complaint, lived in a relationship for about 6 years.
Yes.
And it is your claim that when the relationship terminated, the defendant was indebted to you for rent, some household bills, cell phone bill, and some money that you loaned to him in the amount of $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant says that you were, in fact, in a relationship, that there was a rather loose financial arrangement, and that there was never a complaint on your part while you were together that you were owed any money. Only after the relationship terminated was there a complaint. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes.
When did you begin living together?
The
What
later
year?
part of 98. I don't have the exact
It was
date.
March of '98.
And when did you move out of the home?
I was thrown out of the home or asked to leave the home in October of this year.
Now, what do you claim is owed to you, and for what, Mr. Stanger?
What I have is he's not paid me rent in full at any time during the time
Your Honor, it,
Shh, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
during the time of the end of last year up until the end of this past year.
And when for the first time did you complain about that?
I've complained about it over and over. I had bills to pay. I mean, I paid for everything.
so what the heck did you do with the money?
Mr. Swanger, don't make this any more difficult, please.
I don't think I'm the one making it difficult.
Good. So that let's wait until it's your turn. When did he give you money, sir, during the course of this year?
Periodically, when his pay periods came around, I would ask him, don't you have something you need to give me? You owe me money. And
Ask
he would
me
say,
half the
well,
time you would come up.
I'm going to say it
after
again.
my
1,
check.
2, 3. Mr. Swanger, have I been respectful to you?
Yes, you have.
In a court, you're supposed to be respectful. There are certain rules. Plaintiff goes first. The defendant responds to questions. That's the way this works. If you want to have a discussion with Mr. Stanger, then you do it outside, you do it over coffee, you do it in the living room, you do it, out in the street. That's a discussion. Then you talk back and forth. When you're here, I ask questions, you answer them. Unless I'm looking at you for an answer, do not speak. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Good. Go ahead.
just from what you're seeing, that's his arrogance. Any time that I've ever tried to ask him to give me-
Mr. Stanger, his arrogance may be, but you lived with him. I'm not here to resolve that. Did you keep a register of how much he gave you each month? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
How do you know how much he owes you?
Well, at one point in time, we were both discussing what he felt he owed me, and he said about $6,500. I says, but still, there's other monies that you owe me too, for bills that you didn't pay that you used in my name that I didn't know about. For instance, a cellular one, he ran a bill up in his name for $600 and something, and then they turned it off, and he had one activated in my name, ran that up to over $1,000.
When did you find out about that, sir?
Well, it was 2000, actually.
And you didn't
was when-
separate, actually, until December of 2001. Did you immediately close that account?
Actually, I received a phone call. It was a collection agency that I had owed this money. I had him, and I had filled out an affidavit, sent it to the company, stating that, you know, I was not responsible. I did not authorize it. I never signed anything for that.
Ayer,